serious business here tonight. I have some information here I need to pass on. I suggest that you call a 10-minute recess so that you all can review these documents.
We'll call a 10-minute recess if this is new information that we've not seen. And you had it also for Councilmember, or Mr. Ridley. Meeting's adjourned for 10 minutes, please. In regards to the ethics complaints items on this agenda, I'm concerned about this particular one that we look at right here that has there's supposed pending litigation in there. I don't know how this could affect that. There are people, this has been published in the papers, it's been published in the social media, it's been published all over the place. Half the people are here, are probably here looking for a fight. The other half are hoping that this would all go away. After we analyze each one of these items, the ethics committee, which consists of this city council, has to figure if this complaint has merit, determine if the complaint has merit, or determine if the complaint has sufficient merit to warrant further investigation, or if the complaint does not have merit. The one possibility is the complaint has sufficient merit to warrant further investigation. If it does warrant further investigation, the city attorney is the one authorized to do that, but the city attorney will not do that. It is not required to do that since it represents the whole council. Therefore, we would have to pull in an independent investigator, another attorney from out of town or whatever, which would be very expensive, or whoever files these complaints can present this to the district attorney's office for their investigation on it. I would like to make a motion that I feel is germane to this, that these items F through R are determined to have merit, but I do not wish to spend the taxpayers' money on a long extended investigation on these items. My motion is to rule these as having merit, but not sufficient merit to warrant further investigation. You can either say they have no merit, they do have merit, or they have merit and you want further investigation.
Point of order. Mr. Ridley? Mr. Ridley, if this council finds that they have merit, do they not have to have action also?
No, well, I ask you, MTAS, to give an opinion on this, because as I stated before, I represent the council as a whole, the city of Crossville, and I feel like I have an inherent conflict of interest in participating in such a proceeding, in which one of my clients may be potentially the person the fingers being pointed at. And so MTAS gave an opinion on this, and they said that the council is the ethics commission, the ethics board. They're to be done during a council meeting, and the council itself will determine whether or not there is merit, no merit, or they would like a further investigation to then determine that merit issue later. So if there is merit found, the next step is what is the remedy, and the remedy is a public censure or other things that are available in the charter. I know I'm exceeding the question. If there's not merit, then that's the end of it. If you want a further investigation and you're not making that determination today, you're just asking for further determination or further investigation so that you can come back and make a determination later. So,
Okay. One argument, please bear with me. One argument is that there's 13 different items. Some of them don't make accusations. Some of them, one in particular, asks for an investigation to determine. Okay? An investigation to determine, because I don't know on that one item, I don't know if it warrants censorship or action. Okay? I want to make that clear. So lumping all 13 into one when there's different scales, I see a problem legally with that.
That can be the council's prerogative of how they want to vote on the motion. And also, once I apologize for my tardiness, I got an invitation to the emergency room a while back to go check it out at the grand opening. I didn't go, and I got a full view tonight, and they glued my head back together. So sorry for being late.
I'd like to amend that, my motion. I would like to exclude the items of these 13 that are in reference to an employee, not an elected official, for the ethics complaints about the employee to go to the personnel board. But the other items in reference to elected officials be deemed as having merit, but not sufficient merit to warrant further investigation.
Say that again, Mayor. I don't. Please.
Of these 13 items on here, the ones in reference to elected officials are deemed to have merit, but warrant no further investigation. The ones that refer to an employee go to the personnel board for their decision.
May I make a comment before we get a second on this?
I don't know if it's necessary if I don't have a second.
Well, that's the point. That because the motion has, you're lumping two different actions. Okay? One for the elected and one, Mr. Ridley, correct me if I'm wrong if I do something, please. Okay, one for the employee and one for the elected official, okay? You're lumping those both together. I think that they should be separate.
Do what?
Y'all's decision.
It's our decision.
I don't understand. You would call a special call meeting where if one called, but then you call by email. How this got put on our business?
It got put on, I can answer that question. It got put on.
Mayor, is there a second on the floor?
Because I haven't put an agenda on it, and it's an agenda item. I gave this council the opportunity.
Is there a second on that?
There is no second.
Can I make a motion?
I don't see how a motion can be made when I have an agenda item and preparing a motion, when a secondary or a germane motion is being made before I even make my motion.
Well, being adjournment, well, okay, I'll withdraw my motion. have a motion?
I do have a motion. Ms. Ridley, before I begin, I have a legal question, and it's very germane to these issues tonight. We have standing rules that I can only speak for 3 minutes. Okay? The charter is very explicit about ethics charges and how the council is to be brought in and hear the ethics charges. In order for the ethics charges to be heard, then all evidence has to be presented. Okay? If the time frame restricts the bringing of that evidence forward in a public forum, then the rules involved are restricting the charter. And it's my argument that that's not lawful. That all evidence that is presented here has to be made available and presented.
The ordinance provides you all to be the ethics board. The charter provides that you can set your own rules upon yourself. You all have done so through your standing rules, which limits the time in which you can speak to 3 minutes. If you all would like to suspend those standing rules for this proceeding, you can do so by voting on it, and then you would not have that time restriction. But if the standing rules are not suspended, then the 3-minute time limit is in effect. It's not unlawful for it to be there. That's my answer.
I move that the standing rules be suspended for this ethics meeting.
Have a motion on the floor to suspend the standing rules for the discussion on the ethics. Do I hear a second? Don't hear a second. Is there another motion?
Well, what this appears to be is a restriction of me to produce evidence for this council. I'm going to make a comment now. If somebody wants to sanction me, go right ahead. I'm going to take it to court. That's a fact. Now,
I'm making a motion.
no, I'm speaking. I have the floor.
Point of order. I'm making a motion.
Your point of order is well taken, though you're not speaking to a motion. Your motion is?
I'd like to make a motion that we table this. To a special.
We have a motion on the floor to table this for a special call meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second.
Excuse me, I have a comment here. The mayor sent a good email. I'm going to read it. It was sent on October the 18th regarding these ethics. It says, as mayor and member of Crossville's Ethics Committee, I recently scheduled a special call meeting to address 15 ethics complaints sent to our city attorney, who also acts as our ethics officer. But with the upcoming election less than 3 weeks away now, I have decided to cancel this meeting so that the committee can address these issues after the election. As we all know, the current atmosphere around politics, both locally and nationally, are at a fever pitch, and I simply believe that an ethics probe at this time would do more harm than good. We could and should, in my opinion, look at this with cooler heads and a calmer climate after the election. Now, I can't speak to Mayor Mayberry's intent, but it makes no sense to me that the accuser and the accusee are currently sitting on the council and would be a part of an ethics committee voting on whether these violations have merit or don't have merit. It would make more sense to me to wait till we have our newest council members in place, set a special call.
Order, Mayor.
Are you gonna do something about
Please don't use
profanity?
profanity.
Do you
And
think that's okay?
that we have a meeting at that time to review these ethics complaints and whether they have merit. That's my personal opinion, and
Okay, can I speak, Mayor? Yes, it's hogwash. This council is charged with carrying out the duties. Let me explain something, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody out here to understand. There's a EEOC complaint that's been filed. A lot of the stuff in here has came from that. You can laugh, Jerry Curley, you can laugh, but you will be subpoenaed before it's over. Now, I have the floor. Let me finish.
Vote on this, Mayor.
Let me finish.
Point, please.
You got a councilman attacking city employees in an open meeting there, and you're allowed to attack.
And it's your dad, right?
let's
Doesn't matter.
let's bring this meeting to order. Please come to order, and please conduct yourselves
Okay, and-
like good citizens.
Now, what's going to happen, this council is going to see at least 3 lawsuits. Okay? And on 1 June, I gave this council a letter. Okay? On that letter, I explained that there was issues. I also explained how serious those issues were, and this council failed to do anything.
I've heard all this for 4 years and I'm done.
Well, goodbye.
Next meeting will be the new councilman.
Yeah?
Hey! Na, 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 na.
Order, please. Order, please. Is there a motion on the floor?
There was a motion by Councilmember White and Mayor Pro Tem Harris to table it, but we don't, we do have a quorum.
We have a form, but we have a non-functional form.
We have a
Because,
quorum, so we can survive.
no, we can't. And the reason we can't is because one of the parties is deeply involved. And one of the parties that involves their father and their best friend. So,
Mayor, I got a comment.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Councilman said. I address this to the public, and I'd like to thank the citizens of this great town for allowing me to serve Crossville. It's been a very trying time. About 2 years ago, at that point, Councilman Souza from his council seat had attacked 35 families, mine being 36, with his lies, his deception.
okay, that's enough, Mayor. I'm sick and tired of this.
I thought that's what we're
Mayor,
talking about. Yeah,
we're talking about evidence here that I'm prepared to present to the public in a public forum.
I think we've heard it from both sides. This meeting's adjourned.
I'll see y'all in court.
Where's Spider-Man shirt?
I'll get that up.